Welcome to the lecture number 3 of the lecture series of concept of efflux. Today also we'll discuss a problem with the equivalent column height. Let's see the problem. So this is a column which is having total height of h is filled with dissimilar densities liquid. One liquid is having row density, 2 row density, 3 row density, 4 row density, and one hole is kept at the bottom of the column and it is bent by angle 30 degree with the horizontal, and you have to find out the velocity of efflux and the range of efflux. Now we know that if a hole is kept from the surface of the liquid at a depth of h, then the velocity the fluid will come out is equal to root over of 2gh, and that we discussed in the lecture number 2 also, that this liquid should be of uniform density. That means it should be filled with only one liquid, then only will be able to apply this formula. Now see here, it is filled with different densities, row, 2 row, 3 row, 4 row. Now we have to convert this to an equivalent column with only one liquid filled. That should be filled with only one liquid. Now what is the liquid density here? We have to fill it. We have to see where the hole or orifice is. If this hole or orifice is opened, the liquid of density 4 row will come out only. So that means if the hole is there with the liquid of density 4 row, I have to fill this equivalent column with 4 row density liquid only. So with the 4 row density liquid, what will be the column height? Now what is the formula? So each of this density liquid I have to multiply with their column height, and I will take a summation of that. So see, row into h by 4 plus row 2 row into h by 4 plus 3 row into h by 4 plus 4 row into h by 4. Summation of the total column height multiplied by their respective densities. Now I am filling it with the density of 4 row, so I have to divide with 4. This is the equivalent column height if we fill one container only with the density of 4 row liquid. Let's say it is height is h equivalent. Then h equivalent will be that one. So let us calculate that. What will be the equivalent column height? Row into h by 4, that is row will take common, row h will take common, 1 by 4 plus 2 by 4 plus 3 by 4 plus 4 by 4, entire divided by 4 row. So see, it is becoming h by 4 into 4, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10. So it is 10h by 16. Now see, the equivalent height of this column, which is filled with 4 row density liquid, that is becoming 10h by 6. That is much less than the total height here. See, h by 4 plus h by 4 plus h by 4 plus h by 4, that is giving rise to the total h. But here if we convert it to only one density having 4 row, it is giving rise to 10h by 16, that is the column height. Now what will be the velocity of efflux if I keep a hole at a depth of this 10h by 16 at the bottom? V of efflux will be root over of 2g into the depth from the surface, that is, for this case it is 10h by 16. So it will be root over of 20 by 16 into root over of g into h. That will be root over of 5 by 4 into root over of gh. So we can write it is as root over of 5gh by 4. That is the efflux velocity for this problem. Now if we have understood this concept of efflux velocity, then we'll go to the next part of the problem, that is we have to find out the range of the efflux. Now velocity we have found out. Velocity we have found out, that is velocity is becoming root over of 5gh by 4. Now this hole or this orifice is kept at angle 30 degree with the horizontal. So we can assume that one projectile is being projected with the velocity of root over of 5gh by 4, that is making an angle 30 degree with the horizontal, then what will be the range? But one fluid particle will travel a projectile motion. Then what will be the range? R. R will be equal to, you know the formula of projectile motion, that is u square sine 2 theta by g. So we'll just put the value. U square is 5gh by 4, sine 2 theta is sine 60 by g. So gg will cut 5h by 4 into root over of 3 by 2, that is becoming 5 root 3 by 8h. That is going to be our range of the efflux. So why we are able to apply the formula of the projectile motion? Because so each fluid particle will have the projectile motion in a parabolic path. That is why. Thank you so much for watching.